We also got to see his baseball career play out last night, and it wasn't anywhere near the level he reached in basketball, but his numbers in AA, they weren't as bad as a lot of people probably remember. He hit over 200, he had 51 RBIs, he stole 30 bases. We heard Terry Francona, which is amazing, was his manager at the time, saying he thought absolutely he could have made the majors if there hadn't been a strike. Tracy, you are possibly one of the only other people walking this planet to have a Hall of Fame basketball career and also to have played in the minor leagues. How do you think playing baseball impacted MJ?
I think playing baseball impacted MJ is solidifying him as the greatest basketball of all time.
Really?
And the reason why I say that is because during that three-peat, there was so much going on that, as you heard in the doc, MJ was mentally and physically just drained from the game. You know, you're talking about the loss of his father. You're talking about all the writers creating these stories because of his gambling habit. And I just think he was just mentally ejected. So to take that break, go play baseball, which I think was probably his first love, same as mine, he got a chance to reset his mind, get away from basketball and all the scrutiny that he had with the game of basketball, reset his mind. And then he started to miss it. He started to miss the game that he truly loved. Because, you know, I don't think we get the flu game if he stays in basketball. In baseball. We don't get that last second shot in Utah if he stays in baseball. So we get all that stuff when he comes back because he recalibrated his way of thinking, his mindset, and he missed the game of basketball and he came back and had another three-peat.
Well, yeah, I agree, T-Mac. When you look at MJ, he always found things, and I think these two episodes really showed, he always found things to motivate him. It could be a player, it could be a moment, it could be losing. But those 3 championships that he won, he always looked up to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Those were the 2 guys that he respected the most because they were his predecessors. So for him to get that three-peat, that's something that Magic never did, Larry never did. So when he won that three-peat, he felt relief because still, even though he respected them, he wanted to be better than them. And so that was something that he could always say, well, neither of those guys ever won 3 in a row. So you look at that finals after he won the 3rd championship, there was it wasn't as much joy. There was more relief. It was more of like, okay, now I can consider myself as good, if not better, than those guys in the same class. So I think for Michael, taking that break allowed him to just recalibrate and set new goals and set new, you know, that 6th championship gave him 1 more than Magic Johnson. Trust me, he knew that. That was something that he had like locked into his brain because Magic was always going to, hey, you won 3 in a row, but I got 5. That was something that would motivate him. So I think we gave him, he gave himself another motivation.
And I would add this as well. I know a lot of people talking about, man, if MJ never would have retired, they probably would have won 8 straight titles. I don't know, man. I just think he was just so physically just exhausted and mentally exhausted after that 3rd championship on the first repeat. I don't know if he had that same motivation going into the 94 season.
I get that. I think you guys are right. I also know that his idea of relaxing was to go pick up another professional sport and play it at a level that nearly got him back into the majors. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Most people, when they're looking to take a vacation, they go to Maui or something. They don't go to try to pick up professional baseball. Max, how impressive was what he was able to do? Because, again, you're someone who played high school baseball. After your pro basketball career, you did a little run to do a little minor league baseball yourself. How impressive is it what Michael Jordan actually did in that year and a half?
Well, I think it's very impressive because if you look at the best players that just played baseball their whole entire life, their careers of a 15 to 20-year career, you know, some of these guys barely bat over 300. It is tough. It is a tough sport. It's a failure sport. I mean, you bat 3 out of 10, you got a Hall of Fame career, right? So MJ was on his way to becoming great in the game of baseball. And the reason why I say that, you get that from one of the greatest managers to coach in baseball, and that's Terry Francona. So if you say MJ was on his way, I got to believe him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.